race time for that tournament, which is always pretty nice. His average is at 45:22, so we'll see if he can do that today as well. And the runners just are starting. Obviously, we go first in Sarah Station, where we are looking for our baby Metroid, and we got a signal Samus has to investigate what's going on here, and it's just a good opening for the game. Nothing too technical. A lot of bumping. You will see the runners do a lot of those diagonal while they're walking. That's just a way to gain a little bit of time, a couple of pixels each time you do that. So you'll see a lot of movement, even when you're just running through open corridors. And here we go. Really, the idea here is to die as fast as possible, lower your HP to 24 by taking a couple of hits on his tail, which does the most damage. And then the station will self-destruct, so as fast as possible the runners have to leave the place. The runners tend to have between like 40 and 46 second remaining time. The higher the better, obviously. They're just trying not to get smoked too much, which would slow them down. And here we go. That's not an easy part. We see Feral with some nice damage boost strats on the bottom left corner. Skarsnik just one room behind, very close. All the players are almost done. Skarsnik having a little bit of trouble getting up there. Those team jets are pretty tricky to deal with. They're always at the wrong place if you're not fast enough, so you have to be careful with those. UNHchabo, MassHesteria, Feral, and last Skarsnik will land on planet Zebes. So there are two different races going on. The top part of the screen versus the top part of the screen, and the bottom part on the left versus the bottom part on the right. And it's very, very close between UNHchabo and MassHesteria so far. Feral has a nice lead against Skarsnik as they all land on planet Zebes here. And the idea will be first to grab whatever's necessary to start the game and open a little bit the map. So we actually need some missiles, some bombs, and obviously the morphing ball. So they will all go through the old place where Metroid 1 took place. Here we can see the old Mother Brain fight area, and we're just taking the first elevator to Blue Brain Star, where the morphing ball is. So it's all good for Feral, UNHchabo, just a couple of seconds ahead of MassHesteria, and Skarsnik a couple of rooms behind Feral. He'll do just fine. And here we go. Now we have the ability to morph, so we can actually sneak under small corners and just open up the area a little bit, get our way to the first missiles. Very nice. We'll have 1 pack equals to 5 ammunition. We will not take too many of those, so resources management is very, very key to a good speedrun in Super Metroid. You have to know exactly what you need and what you need to farm. All the enemy drop the resources you need, but sometimes at very, very small rates. So you need to go as exactly as possible with your ammo count. And we're back up, leaving Brinstar for now, going back to Crateria. Feral leading the way, killing these first pirates with a very technical damage boost here, cleaning the room very nicely. On the top part of the screen, it's very close between UNHchabo and MassHesteria. So far, the runners, UNHchabo just has a couple of seconds as a lead. And we're on our way to get the bombs. UNHchabo choosing to do the ledge grabs, the behemoth climb, where on the left part of the right part of the screen, MassHesteria chooses to go for the wall climb, the wall jumps. That room is very technical, certainly one of the hardest rooms in the game to do perfectly. Very hard to optimize. You have to deal with the pirates, and obviously you are trying to lose as little HP as possible, because you will need missiles to kill the upcoming boss quickly, and you will drop more missiles if you're full health. So Feral starts the boss fight right now. You can see them getting the missile they want and just getting a very nice kill on the bomb Torizo. He got his bombs. He can lay them down when he's in more form, and that will almost open the entire game now. We just need super missiles and power bombs, but those are coming quickly our way. A very nice Alcatraz, that trick name after it's why it's so hard to escape from there, and get into the Terminator room, where we'll finally get our first E-tank. We were not too threatened to die so far, but it's always nice to have that small cushion. Although it's not a lot, you take a lot of damage in Super Metroid, so it's going to be very important to manage their health. For also choosing to kill those spirits, which probably indicates they are going to do the new route. They're going Phantom first, and they will need all that health they kept. We are probably going to see the other runners actually taking damage to run through those first pirates there. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And yeah, Skarsnik's timer is very nice, very kidding around, displaying some weird numbers, but it's all right. It's all synced between the players. They're all at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. MassHesteria climbing beautifully in the Alcatraz, and yeah, and is UNHchabo taking damage through those pirates to be able to go as fast as possible, but losing health in the process. After that Mog Ball, a nice trick that allowed the Feral to go under those closing doors, they got their first super missile pack, and those are going to be very rare. We actually just need 2 to beat the game, so that's exactly what they're going to pick up. One here, one in the wreck ship, and that's it. So please enjoy the super missiles pack when we see them. We can see on the top left of the screen, UNHchabo failing the Mog Ball actually and going back for it. They absolutely need that super missile pack there, because if they don't pick that one up, the only other option would be to pick the Spore Spawn one, which is a pain to get, or you have to kill Spore Spawn, which is very long. So here we go. And you would actually totally need to kill Spore Spawn at that point in the game, so very nicely done. They get the super missiles, and they allow a little bit MassHesteria to catch back up, so the race is still very, very close between those two. And Feral just got some more missiles, the Charge Beam in Big Pink, and they're just leaving Brinstar as fast as they can. And they will get shortly to the Red Tower, where they will choose probably to go the upper route, so heading to wreck ship with only 159 HP. Yeah, here we go. So you don't actually need this ice beam here, but you already probably know that. Just with a couple of very tight wall jumps, very nicely executed, Feral gets up there and will try to keep their health as much as possible, because Phantom with only one E-tank is a very tough fight. They have to here take that little detour to get their first power bomb pack, because they will not be able to leave that Red Tower here if they don't have that. High five between UNHchabo and MassHesteria. They got all at the same spot when heading away from the Charge Beam, and MassHesteria picking the one up. But they're still very close, and Skarsnik just a couple of seconds behind, getting his Charge Beam as well. The race is so easy, you can play around with your timer. It is a tough race, especially for Skarsnik. He is a couple of minutes behind Feral. He has to go as fast as possible, obviously, and has to do his best. And UNHchabo and MassHesteria very close to each other, heading to Kraid, so we got to see the upper part of the Red Tower on Feral's screen. Feral on the bottom left corner of the screen, going for a super tricky skip here. They got the correct pixel for the continuous wall jump, the CWJ, but sadly missed the jump button press, which is actually incredibly precise, but got it on the second try. Very nicely done. So they passed that moat room. That is actually incredibly hard to go through if you don't have the grappling hook or the speed booster. But they got there. They have the resources necessary to go to the Fantoon fight, so they are in the wreck ship. While I saw a couple of Spacer pick up, MassHesteria definitely got that one, as well as Skarsnik. It is not mandatory to pick the Spacer, but it's a nice help. UNHchabo also got it, so 3 Spacers and 1 new route. Yeah, that timer is pretty dope. Having trouble to find the block here, Skarsnik finally gets out of that room and will make his way towards Kraid. Again, UNHchabo is on the top left corner, is almost there, and just let's take a look at Feral on the bottom left corner, starting the Fantoon fight. So Fantoon has a nice behavior and a very random patterns, so it's all a gamble, and you have to practice all their the different patterns they can get. So you have to know all their full patterns, whether he appears slowly or fast. And they're getting 3 cycles. They're playing actually very safe on Fantoon, not going for any crazy Doppler or anything. And yeah, already Kraid is dead for UNHchabo. They're done with that one and got their Varia suit, which is going to be very nice. And MassHesteria on the top right corner sadly missed the quick kill on Kraid and had to fight the normal fight here, where Kraid actually takes 2 screens to display. And that giant sprite sometimes open its mouth and you have to slowly aim your missiles so it dies. Okay, it's done for MassHesteria. And Skarsnik setting them up just a few pixels past that ledge, going into morph form, so the screen lags less, or actually just kidding around and morphing and demorphing. And let's try to see how well they're going to do. Just 1 missile. Yeah, that's not going to be it, I'm afraid. Oh, Kraid doing like some crazy moves we never see. And yeah, he's going to see the entire fight as well. I'm a bit scared for Skarsnik, only 42 HP. It's not such an easy fight when you have to fight him all the way. He has to be very careful with his health. Obviously, Feral during this time clearing the attic using all these resources, missiles all the way. Oh, 22 HP. Skarsnik falling down. Careful. Kraid is almost dead. 12 HP. Oh my god, 2 HP. Got a big health there. He dropped to 2. Yeah, he has to be that careful now. And Kraid is dead, so congrats to Skarsnik. Almost died. But we're good. Feral made his way all through Wreckship and got to the bowling alley here. You're probably supposed to use your grappling hook, but obviously you choose a speedrunner to just damage boost through the spikes and get to the statue that will bring you to the gravity suit. Gravity suit, awesome armor, protects you from heat damage, allows you to move freely underwater, and also half the damage you take. So it's all good. It's all good to have it early. They will be able to go through Norfair and Moradia freely, which is going to be great because you actually have to kill all 4 bosses to beat the game. So let's go. UNHchabo and MassHesteria started their little shopping through Norfair. Norfair has a lot of very useful items. The iJump first, iJump being probably the best movement upgrade you can go for. Allows you to jump higher and just get all your movement better all the way through the run. It's just like very, very much harder to beat the game without it. And here we go, making our way to the speed booster, second very useful movement upgrade. Climbing Bubble Mountain. Bubble Mountain should not be. Oh wow, MassHesteria actually going for the ice beam. I'm super surprised. They usually the runners choose to get the ice beam later because the ice is actually going to slow them down in a couple of places. But that works too. Obviously, it's possible. And UNHchabo, after a nice Bubble Mountain, get their speed booster, and will be able to run so much faster and perform Shine Spark, which is awesome and helps in a lot of places. Feral, following UNHchabo and MassHesteria a couple of minutes later, is making his way to the Spacer here. New route takes Spacer and will never go grab the plasma beam. So they're all going to be that much less efficient against the bosses, but it's it's just less backtracking and movement overall. So that's why it's faster. And they will make their way towards Norfair, where the Feral will do exactly pretty much the same thing as a UNHchabo, MassHesteria, and Skarsnik, just going all the way through Upper Norfair and getting all the items they need. And ready your hey guys in your Ohio for the wave beam, the beam that waves at us, and we'll go through the walls. It's just a nice damage upgrade also, and you'll see the runners starting to use it all the time. Just being able to shoot the enemies from afar is pretty nice. And MassHesteria is using his ice beam to go through Bubble Mountain. Skarsnik did not take that detour and just climbed Bubble Mountain beautifully. Very nicely done. They are making their way towards the speed booster, but yeah, the lead of UNHchabo now starts to be a little bit bigger as they just are leaving the Upper Norfair now. And Feral, we can see, got the high jump and did not go the way around to grab those missiles. They just went the way they were, killed the enemy, and were able to open the door there. Very nice. Feral is going to take the ice beam also. They absolutely need the damage upgrade it gives at that point in the game. They're all going to go for Lower Norfair next, so nothing is too good for you. Lower Norfair is certainly the most brutal thing in the game, so it's pretty good to be well prepared. We can see UNHchabo now taking the ice beam as well, right before going to the wreck ship, so that's an early pick. You usually, even in old route, don't see a ice beam that early, but it's all good. It's all a matter about being able to finish the game and trying to go as fast as possible. Very nice mock ball here by Feral on the bottom left corner, freezing those two enemies to use them as platform. We can see UNHchabo doing the exact same thing here. It's not the easiest of the mock balls and is absolutely necessary if you want to leave when you're there. Not sure if you can leave with the speed booster, though, but I'm pretty sure you absolutely need that mock ball. Not the easiest run to go through on Feral's screen. Trying to take as little damage as possible. Yeah, and PB-wise, Skarsnik is the underdog. They're certainly the one to pull like a feat, an incredible feat. They could possibly take advantage of a mistake from Feral, a death, but that's going to be pretty unlikely. Feral being a very solid runner, proved it repeatedly during this tourney. And a couple of minutes, maybe a minute ahead of MassHesteria, UNHchabo making his way towards the wreck ship, so we can see now the red tower, but done with the ice beam. That's so much easier, and that's probably how you're supposed to go through that area. and they will make their way to get the power bombs as well, since they absolutely need that weapon to beat the game and to go to wreck ship. Phantom is heavily guarded. Ammo wise, you absolutely need enough resources to go through the moat. You need a couple of super missiles, you need to get there a couple of power bombs. They are very resource demanding. Skarsnik picking finally their ice beam, going for the same route as UNHchabo actually, and MassHesteria finally getting to Red Tower just as Chabo is leaving it. And here we can see like some big difference in route. Feral is actually done with wreck ship as those runners are going towards it, and he's now going towards a lower Norther when actually all those other runners are going to do that at the very last moment possible. And just overall, the movement and all the text those runners are showing is very impressive. It is not an easy game to go fast through, but on Chabo's screen you could see just before that the ice beam is actually requiring them to get like one extra hit, and sometimes they will just gut the frozen enemy in their way and lose their momentum. But Feral getting that impressive 3-tap Shine Spark and getting the lava dive and the lava spark very nicely. It's very technical to be able to get up there using a Shine Spark. Usually you'll see the runners use their space jump or maybe a gravity jump if they did not get the lava spark. And during the Rando tournament in 2017, it was one of the major places you had to be prepared for if you did not have the item necessary to get there. Shine sparking through the pillar room. Feral makes good way towards lower Norther and gets to the worst room in the game, aptly named after all those pirates and all those technical movements you have to perform correctly to get up there, but nothing is slowing them down, and they're just getting the perfect execution and movement so far here. When Chabo just started the Phantom fight, not going for any X Factor, just hammering the missiles into their skull. They probably are going to have 2 or 3 extra cycles now, as MassHesteria is making good progression in the wreck ship and will get to Phantom. So the players will have the opportunity to high-five there. Phantom can be killed in some very different fashion. The X Factor or the Dopplers can get you 2 cycles, but those are very technical to get, so better safe than sorry and do whatever you know. For Phantom, it's really not an easy fight. So hey, UNHchabo is done with Phantom, and as MassHesteria starts the fight, we'll see how well they'll do on that one. They have 2 power bombs, but it's not selected, so yeah, they will just go for missiles there. And hoping for fast cycles, but actually getting slow ones, so they have to wait patiently through all those animations and cycles, and Phantom finally opens his eyes, but gets a slow and fast eye and doesn't have the opportunity to get so many missiles in there. Skarsnik opening the door, and they make their way towards the wreck ship. And Feral started the relay fight. So usually when you have the plasma beam, the ice beam, the wave beam, and the charge beam, you just need 20 shots. But when you don't have the plasma beam, that number is actually way higher than that. So you will see a very slow fight, and Feral being very careful not to take too many hits, because They don't have the Varya here, so they take a lot of damage at that point. So they have to be very, very careful. And yeah, 40 damage per hit. You don't want that to happen too much. Although they're very nice at 253 in health. The fight should not last much longer. They have 6 supers. They might choose to use on Ridley at the end of the fight. And UNHchabo killing everything. They don't need any more resources, but they just went for it. Full ham on those poor enemies. They're all dead. It's all good. They can go through a bowling alley and get their own gravity suit. At that point, you just need that. The wreck ship is mainly useful for that gravity suit. Yeah, for all getting their super ready. Ridley is almost dead. And now they just have to get grabbed, and boom, it's done. Very, very clean fight. Lost some health though, but that will happen eventually, obviously. So yeah, they're not going through the same route. Feral got Fentoon, then Ridley. They still have to Kraid and Dragon to go. The other runners also have, for UNHchabo and MassHesteria, they also have 2 bosses down, Kraid and Fentoon, but Ridley and Dragon are the longest ones. So Feral is just making all the route, the backtracking towards Moridia now, so they will be able to kill Dragon, but first they will go and kill Kraid because he's just in the way. The route makes sense if you look at it, and yeah, lower norther is very hard, and the way back you have to be very, very careful with your health. You have those 2 rooms with Kai Hunter that are upcoming, and those killed a lot of runners, so we'll see how Feral deals with that. During this time, Skarsnik is just fighting Fentoon, 113 HP. Keep an eye on those that energy, because they almost died on Kraid, and they're not sitting too high here. Fentoon is at the middle of the fight there. They should be able to land some more missiles and just kill the guy, but yeah, they deal a ton of damage. Only 33 remaining. Come on, Skarsnik. Everyone is behind you. You can do it. Just farm for a little bit of health. Here we go. Big health drop. 53, 33. Stop taking damage. 18. No! Oh my god. I hope they saved, but they could not save in the wreck ship. You cannot save before Phantom is dead. So yeah, they have to go a long way behind, maybe just all the way to the start of the game. During this time, Feral, with only 23 HP, got a little health drop there, almost died, but made their way back to Brinstar, Upper Norther, my bad, and they will just be to Brinstar very shortly, just being able to run through that room, and they're gone. MassHesteria following UNHchabo, little bit behind now. UNHchabo made good progress into Moridia, so here the area is filled with water, but when you have the gravity suit, it's no problem to just go and move freely, and they just know exactly where they're going. You have to kill Bathoon, the evil snake, is on the way. With a well-timed X Factor, you can take them pretty fast, but they are just going to go ham with the charge beam and supers here. Although Bathoon hitbox is quite weird. I think it's easier when you have the spacer to deal with them, but yeah, it can be a slow fight here. MassHesteria is just about to break the glass tube, and Feral is already at Kraid. So they Well, do exactly the same thing as the other guys did just at the start of the game, using a couple of missiles and they'll be done. Only 69 HP, but Kraid is not too bad when you are so experienced. Yeah, he's already done. 2 missiles to freeze him, 3 supers to the jaws, and he's dead. Getting the Voya suit here for nice damage reduction, and they'll make their way to Meridian very shortly. As we can hear Chabo just farming for all his resources before getting to Dragon. We can see the infamous Happy room here in the Colosseum. They don't have the Shine Spark to pass that, so they will just slowly make their way through the room. The full Happy Shine Spark is probably one of the hardest in the game, so I will never blame anyone not to even try it. It's quite hard, and that wall jump here can be quite weird, but no, they make good progress through the room, and they'll be in the boss fight in just a couple of seconds now. MassHesteria starting the bot wound fight, using the same strat as UNHchabo, just hammering the super missiles to his face, and we'll end the fight with a couple of charged shots. As Feral followed them quite closely, making good progress through Mount Everest here. Not even going for the diagonal spark, just a couple of jumps and they're good. MassHesteria farming as well, and they got their E-tank and are just making their way. Having a Shine Spark here may be able to use the Shine Spark here to climb that tower. Nicely done. And UNHchabo is already done with Dragon, actually. Very fast fight, very nice. And yeah, Feral is doing the new route, finishing by Dragon, while all the other runners, MassHesteria and UNHchabo have to kill Ridley still, so they have all the way to Lower Norther and back. Yeah, he's catching up. But is shown that, yeah, such skill and such perfect movement and no signs of slowing down ever, no doubt, no problem health-wise. The ammo management was stellar. They just gave no chance to those guys. So Feral getting the full heavy there, and grabbing a super on the way, just to be sure they have the resources to kill Dragon. And here we go. I'll be able to stop the fight, as MassHesteria is still fighting Dragon. So you want to we'll see Feral equip his power bombs there and just get a X Factor ready. I was losing my word there. So if you charge a shot while you have the power bomb selected, you'll get those particles flowing around you. They just deal a lot of damage when they connect, the equivalent to a super missiles per particle. And they'll get into the red box, get a couple of shots, and finishing it with the Shine Spark. Very nice. Trying to store the speed with the spike suit trick here. A very difficult one. They'll just farm it up. And you don't even need the space jump at that point. Think about it. They just need to go to Meridian now, to Torian, sorry. Leave Meridian and go to Torian to kill Mother Brain. They don't have that many rooms to go through. So taking the space jump is actually a waste of time. It will not save anything. While for UNHchabo and MassHesteria on the top of the screen, they still have to go through all of Lower Norther, and the space jump just makes so many rooms easier. The amphitheater, the worst room in the game, It's just going to be very nice for them. They also did all the detour to go grab the plasma beam, so now we can see UNHchabo with probably the best, totally the best combo weapon-wise in the game. The ice beam, plasma beam, charge beam, and wave beam. They have all they need, so Ridley is going to be way easier and way faster. And let's go. Feral is done. They just need to find that last tiny exit. Here we go. And they will be leaving Maridia shortly. And UNHchabo leaving by the other door, just above Kraid, actually, just next to the glass tube. They are here at the elevator towards Upper Norfair. So it's all good. While Feral just leaves in the red tower here and make their way close to the ship. So this is an impressive time, 35 minutes there, heading to G4. It's going to be a very, very nice run for Feral, but it's not over. They have to go through Torian and kill Mother Brain. Obviously, it's not done until the game is over. So they have to go through probably one of the most technical area in the game. Killing those Metroid fast is can be scary and can be tricky. So we'll see how well they do. UNHchabo and MassHesteria already have the ice beam, so they don't even need to go for that detour right now. They got it earlier when they were in Upper Norfair, getting the speed booster, the wave beam, and the high jump. Yeah, if you die in those races, you can restart from the last save you took. So Skarsnik could have started all over again. It is very, very hard emotionally to go through that, and they probably are thinking that Feral is going to win anyway, so maybe did not want to go through that. It's it's well, as long as you beat the game in those 3 hours, you can take a couple of deaths. It's not a problem. It just takes a lot of time, but that's why on many occasions during that tournament you saw some runners take some safe spot. It takes time, obviously, to save rooms are almost never in the way, except for that one in Upper Norfair. And then you have to go through the menu, the save animation. But it makes sense for a lot of runners to actually save, especially before the Mother Brain fight, which can sometimes go poorly. um, this is the place where it's most saved. Maybe some other places runners do save sometimes. And let's go. We got to Torian finally. So here you have to clear the room of the Metroid. To kill a super Metroid, the better way is to freeze them and to then use 5 missiles, 3 missiles and a super. But sadly, here the resources are counted. You need your 15 missiles and 10 supers at the end of Torian to be able to kill Mother Brain 1. So they are keeping a good eye on those and making sure they will drop everything they need. Last room, they are actually here manipulating the ring cast, so they take a hit. Got a little bit early there. Didn't get the damage boost. But Feral has all these resources you need: 15 missiles, 10 supers. That's exactly as low as you can go there. If you don't have enough resources, you will not be able to break the glass around Mother Brain, and you you absolutely need enough resources. So that would be like 21 and 5 supers, or 15 and 7. One super being as many damage as 3 missiles. And you need like 3 supers to open the doors before that. So yeah, it's all around. It's all planned. Sadly, they got caught here by the super Metroid, so they will have to take a small detour to save. But thank God they got the They were facing right, so they saved the frame. Chabo fighting Ridley. Only 20 shots will kill them. So that could be very fast. Be careful not to be grabbed too much. Ridley still hurts even with the Voya and the gravity, but it should be done fairly quickly. Yeah, but really hurts. Really, really. You want to keep your health, and you also want a lot of health to be able to come back from lower Norfair. So it's during the entire run, you have to think about all the time about what's upcoming, what you need for those areas, resource-wise and health-wise. They're taking a lot of damage. I do expect Chabo to go take that final E-tank. They're not being grabbed, and 36 HP, I'm scared. Okay, 6 HP. They could have died here. Even if Ridley dies, has no HP, is they still have to grab you. So that got scary a little bit, got health bomb, but here we go. They get the Ridley E-tank, so they can go back to the start of the game and not worry too much about health. And Feral is starting the Mother Brain 2 fight, so just repeatedly hitting their head with charge shots. Sadly, once again, no plasma beam, so very little damage. Spacer is good, but it just deals less damage, so the fight is a little bit longer, and you have to be extra careful with your dodging ability, because Mother Brain at the end of the fight will deal 300 damage. So if you have less than 300 HP, you will die, which is pretty terrible. So Feral is making really paying very good attention to all those shots that are upcoming. Mother Brain has 4 different attacks: the French fry, the meatball. Here we can see the onion rings there, and the ketchup, which is like a devastating attack that's coming when Mother Brain is almost dead. Here we go, very nice dodge, and Feral should be good. But yeah, they have to be very close to their jump button. But a couple of dodges. Wow, it was 3 ketchups in a row. And here we go. They're dead. Mother Brain will actually try to retaliate with the Rainbow Beam, dealing 300 damage to Samus. And it's all good. All the route was leading to that point. All those resources, all that health picked up was for that fight. But they survived. Actually, maybe they're going to... No, Mother Brain... Oh, okay. The baby Metroid saved the day. Very nice. I was not sure that was going to happen. On the top part of the screen, UNHchabo versus MassHesteria. Chabo is struggling against the 3 Kai Hunter named the 3 Musketeers, but survived here, having 5 E-tank. They're good. And are just making their way towards Torian. But yeah, very impressive run from Feral. It's going to be a 45 minutes, I'd say. Never know exactly when, how long that cutscene is. It always tricks me. And on the top right of the screen, MassHesteria is also done with Ridley. They got their 5th A-tank as well, and are just backtracking to the start of the game, 43 minutes in. It looks like UNHchabo has a very comfortable lead, but once again, the end of the game is not the easier part, and they have to be very careful with their movement and with their health, especially. Also, ammo-wise, they should be good. They both have 5 missile packs, so they have 10 more than Feral, and he was barely okay. He had exactly what he needed. So it's more controllable, but it's not, sure. So you still have to be very careful with what you're doing, even in Torian, even with 5 E-tanks. And here we go, 44 minutes. They will leave the Mother Brain fight. And yeah, because everything is exploding in the Metroid series, so obviously the planet is self-destructing since Mother Brain died. And here we go, 3 minutes to escape. They will totally make it. There's no problem whatsoever to leave in time. There are lots of nice optimization actually here. You can see them take a hit, and they will use, or they will use the iframes to go through that part, doing like some nice tight wall jumps. It's not that easy, and then just perform a nice moonfall here to fall faster. And yeah, if they manage to get their wall jump walking, they are almost done. And here we go. No world record for Feral, but still an amazing run. 45 minutes. Here we go. We're done with the run. The planet is saved. No, I don't know what we accomplished today. We actually destroyed an entire ecosystem. But that's good. That's good. We survived. Mission accomplished. GG Feral in it. Timer says 45-18. Skarsnik sadly died against Phantom, so Feral will advance to the past the group stage here. They got 4 wins, which is impressive. The group gave him a good time. Apparently, was not too shaked about all those runs. 45-18 is a very good time. So here we go. We have Chabo waiting for the golden statue to fall down. Once all 4 bosses are dead, that statue just falls down and open the way to Toyan. If one of the 4 undead, they will not. It will not riddle the way. That's why you have to go through the entire game in the first place and kill everything. Because that door is just right there at the beginning. You can go check the golden statue just when you start. But yeah, you have to go through the entire game, kill all the bosses, which is done for both of our runners there. So they will just go and kill some Metroid, freezing them first, and then trying not to whiff too many missiles, because once again they need to be very careful with their resources. Now it's a tie. Yeah, it was a good race. Skarsnik took an unfortunate death. That happens to everybody, to be honest. I totally understand why they would not continue. Oh, your boss forfeited? Apparently, Feral actually did forfeit, so it's tie between. Can I undone you and mark forfeit? There we go. I can do that. Chabo waiting for Baby Metroid to come here and unlock this scrolling. Baby Metroid grew a long way, and apparently they're not going to even attempt the skip. They're taking intentional damage, so the animation here is slower. And having no health, they have to go here and refill. They have 25 missiles and 9 supers, so that's theoretically okay to kill Mother Brain 1. They have like some extra resources. Usually, when you have only 4 missile pack, you really want to be sure you have all your resources and even more so when you have only 3. They will save here though, smart save just before the Mother Brain fight, just in case something goes wrong. They will still be in the lead because MassHesteria has all 4 rooms of Torian plus the baby Metroid anime cutscene to go through. Okay, so the Zep skip went well. They just froze Rinka and used their iframes animation to go through the Zebetite door there. And once you go through the first door, the other ones don't appear, which is convenient because they take a lot of resources to kill. So it's very nice. Mother Brain 1 is done. It should go well. They have 577 HP, 20 hits, 20 charge shot to kill Mother Brain. Let's go. You can do this, Chabo. It's going to be okay. It's an impressive monster, but with the plasma beam and the charge beam and the ice beam and the wave beam, it's all nice and well. Dodging nice little shots. And here we go. Good rhythm. Dodging everything. We are at the catch-up. Mother Brain is already almost dead. And here we go. Lost all his health to the rainbow beam. And now we just have to wait for baby Metroid to save the day. During this time, MassHesteria just got caught by baby Metroid and has to go refill health. They have all the missiles they need, so it will be all good. Choosing to open the door first, which indicates they will use a refill for their ammunition there as well. And here we go, they're on their way. Not even refilling the missiles, they know they have enough with 20 and 10, so no problem for them. And Chabo refilling health and gets the rainbow beam. So they will just have to deal with the final phase of Mother Brain here. They'll kill the baby Metroid. Sadly, it has to die, apparently. This game is brutal. Nothing survives. Except Samus. Samus is obviously unharmed. And here we go through the Zebetites for MassHesteria. Making their way through the room, freezing the Rinkas, and here we go, missiles away to kill Mother Brain 1. Knowing exactly the resources they need, trying not to hit a Rinka by accident. And they're done. Yeah, very smooth run. We are looking towards 56 minutes for sub 56 maybe for both runners. It's going to be very nice. Sadly, MassHesteria took like I don't know when it started, but it's probably around Norfair. Kraid was a little bit slower since they didn't get the fast kill, and then had a little bit of trouble to catch up, but the runs were pretty similar, were very close. And UNHchabo just has to escape 3 minutes to do it. Once again, should not be a problem. And MassHesteria, we saw the catch up, we know it's almost done, dodging carefully the shots. I just want to see those final times. It's very close, but we know, sadly, that they have like one Mother Brain phase of difference. That final animation with the Metroid refilling your health and killing Mother Brain is very long. Oh, maybe MassHesteria is on PB pace. I don't know the runner's PB. You can check that out. Type in exclamation mark SM. Let me check. MassHesteria has a PB of 58 minutes, so yeah, PB pace probably. And Chabo has has a PB of 52 minutes and 47 seconds, so a little bit behind PB, but not by much. Congrats to UNHchabo. We put on a very nice show, 53 minutes and 52 seconds, a minute and 5 seconds behind PB. Very, very well done. Yeah, give all your hype and your francoursie for MassHesteria's upcoming PB live on Speed Gaming. That's very not everyone can PB during those settings. It's very any whatever your PB is, you have to beat yourself. You have to do better than you ever did. So getting a PB is a rare occasion, and doing that live during a race, you have not to be too stressed about all the settings and the predicament that's going on. So very, very nice. They still have to get some rainbow beams to Mother Brain face, though. You'll see the runners, the best runners, go for some jumps and aiming while they're jumping. And that's all to reduce lag, because that rainbow beam is brutal to the SNES. It just kills the console. So the less it's on screen, the better. It's going to be very close for the 50 for the 55, but the 56 should happen, skipping entirely the 57. So that would be nice. So let's go. MassHesteria doing it. Three minutes to leave the planet before it explodes. Let's go. All those pirates have to die here. Final shine spark through the ground. You have to use a shine spark here, or you will not make it through the ceiling. And they still have obviously the rainbow beam to play with and to kill all those pirates in one hit. And final drop. You can see that it's a bit slower than with the Moonfall, but the Moonfall does not save that much time, and dealing with the moonwalk is complicated, especially during boss fights. So if you're not controllable with that, don't use the moonwalk. Nice shine sparks through the pit of hell here. It's way easier with the shine spark. We should get like the shine spark first. It would be way nicer for the start of the run. Couple of jumps, and here we go. Do note that all those runners played through that room a countless amount of time, but sadly now they have like all this shaking and the space jump and the high jump, so it's very different from the first time we were around. But 56-50, they got the 56. A very nice, over a minute PB. Let's go, MassHesteria. It's yeah, it's an impressive performance they put on today. PB by a minute and 25 seconds. Sadly, they will not get the win here. Congrats to all the runners who put on a very, very nice show for us today. So be sure to follow them. Obviously, you'll see more of them during that tournament. Feral will advance to the bracket stage, and they still have some matches to go for. MassHesteria was its last, sadly, but we still have UNHchabo having to play against Skarsnik and Casnode later this upcoming weeks, I guess. The group stage is not going to last too long now. A lot of players are done with their races, so be sure to follow Speed Gaming and keep an eye on the schedule, because a lot of things are happening all day, every day. So we will see you around. Once again, follow the runners. And it has been a pleasure to commentate those races. Congrats once again, UNHchabo and Feral. Well, there's like something weird going on with their forfeit. Apparently, Feral and Skarsnik had to play yesterday. Skarsnik insisted for them to do their race today, so they're technically tied with both forfeiting today. And congrats once again for MassHesteria winning, getting a PB, not winning, but you know, it's still something. So yeah, follow them. They will keep on racing on speed gaming for the Super Metroid Any Person tournament, and we will see you around.